Most people make the same financial mistake over and over again, and they have no idea they're doing it. They think they're unlucky. They think the system's rigged against them. But the truth? They're missing one critical skill that literally separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke. And here's the wild part. This skill isn't taught in school, it's not on YouTube, and most people won't figure it out until it's too late. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand what that skill is, and more importantly, how to actually develop it. Let me paint a picture. You make decent money. Maybe you're pulling in $50,000, $75,000, even six figures for some of you. But at the end of the month, you're still stressed. Your checking account is still empty. You're still living paycheck to paycheck. You're wondering where all the money goes. And the worst part? You've been in this cycle for years. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've tried the budgets. Nothing sticks. Nothing changes. Most people blame their income. They think if they just made more money, everything would be different. So they chase raises, they start side hustles, they work harder. But here's what actually happens. Their income goes up, their spending goes up right along with it. Same problems, bigger numbers. That's because they're missing the foundational skill that money actually requires. And without it, no amount of income will ever set you free. The skill is called deliberate financial decision-making. And I know that sounds boring, but hear me out. Most people don't actually make financial decisions. They react to situations. They see something they want, they buy it. They get an unexpected bill, they panic. They get a bonus, they spend it before they even think about what it's for. They're playing financial defense their entire lives, just reacting, never planning. Deliberate financial decision-making is the opposite. It means you sit down, you get intentional, and you decide in advance how your money is going to move. Not in the moment, in advance. Here's a real example. Two people both make $50,000 a year. Person A gets a $500 tax refund. They didn't make a decision about it beforehand, so when that check shows up, they feel like they won a lottery. They spend it on a new laptop they don't need. Person B, they decided 3 months ago that if they got a refund, it was going straight into a high-yield savings account. Same situation, different outcomes. That's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who actually build wealth. Person B is making deliberate decisions. Person A is just reacting. Now, how do you actually develop this skill? You start with one practice, the 48-hour rule. Before you spend money on anything that isn't essential, you wait 48 hours. Not forever, just 48 hours. Why? Because impulse lives in the first 10 minutes. Real decision-making happens after the impulse fades. During those 48 hours, you ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1, do I actually need this, or do I want this? Be honest. Question 2, will this purchase move me closer to my actual goals or further away? And question 3, would I buy this if I had to think about it for 2 days? If you can't say yes to at least 2 of those questions, you don't buy it. This isn't about deprivation. You're not saying no to everything. You're making decisions from a place of intention instead of impulse. And when you do that consistently, your money starts to obey you instead of the other way around. Here's what most people don't realize. You have financial patterns that run on autopilot. You probably don't even see them anymore because they're so automatic. Maybe every Friday you treat yourself to expensive coffee and food. Maybe every month you have one massive shopping spree. Maybe you always buy things when you're sad or stressed. These aren't character flaws, they're patterns. And the key to breaking patterns is visibility. You can't change what you don't see. So here's what you do. For the next 7 days, write down every single dollar you spend. And I mean everything. The coffee, the snacks, the subscriptions you forgot about. All of it. Most people, when they do this for just 1 week, they're shocked. They'll find $200, $300, sometimes $500 a month in spending they didn't even know was happening. That's money that's literally disappearing into a void. Now here's the important part. When you find these patterns, you're not supposed to feel guilty. You're supposed to feel empowered. Because once you see them, you can make a deliberate decision about them. Maybe you say, I'm keeping my Friday treat, but I'm limiting it to $15 instead of $40. That's deliberate. That's a decision you made on purpose. And suddenly you've freed up $100 a month without actually sacrificing. Or maybe you cancel for subscriptions you never use. Another $100 a month. Another $1,200 a year. That's not small money. That's the difference between staying stuck and actually moving forward. The skill here is the same, deliberate decision making. You're not just spending because the pattern says to. You're looking at the pattern and deciding consciously whether to keep it, change it, or eliminate it. Once you understand deliberate decision making, the next step is scaling it. Because here's the reality. The bigger your income, the bigger your decisions need to be. Someone making $30,000 a year needs to be careful about $100 purchases. Someone making $300,000 a year, they're making decisions about where $50,000 is going. The skill stays the same, but the scale changes. So once you master the 48-hour rule with small purchases, you apply the same thinking to bigger money moves. Let's say you're thinking about taking on a car payment. Most people just think, can I afford the monthly payment? That's surface-level thinking. Deliberate thinking asks, what is this car payment actually going to cost me over 5 years? And more importantly, what am I not doing with that money? If you take out a $400 a month car payment for 5 years, that's $24,000. But it's actually more than that when you factor in insurance, gas, maintenance. Real cost, $32,000 to $35,000 over 5 years. Now ask yourself, what could I build with $35,000? Could I invest it? Could I use it to start a business? Could I use it as down payment on an investment property? That's deliberate thinking. You're not just asking if you can afford it. You're asking what it's costing you in terms of your actual goals. Same thing with debt. Most people just make minimum payments without ever thinking about it. But someone with deliberate financial decision-making sits down and calculates. If I pay just the minimum on this credit card, how much am I actually paying in interest? How many extra months or years am I in debt? Then they decide, I'm going to pay an extra $100 a month specifically toward principal. That decision, made once and repeated monthly, could knock years off your debt and save you thousands in interest. But you only make that decision if you're being deliberate about it. If you're just reacting, you never even think about it. This is where it gets really interesting. Because once you develop this skill of deliberate decision-making, something shifts in how you see opportunities. See, broke people and rich people actually see the same opportunities. Someone posts about a new investing strategy. Someone mentions a business idea. Someone talks about a real estate deal. Both the broke person and the rich person see it. But their response is completely different. The broke person reacts. They either get excited and jump in without thinking, or they dismiss it without actually considering it. No deliberation, just reaction. The rich person, they deliberate. They ask questions. They research. They calculate. They decide whether this aligns with their actual goals or if it's just shiny object syndrome. That's why rich people compound wealth. They're making deliberate decisions about where their money goes, what they invest in, what they build. They're strategic. They're intentional. And you know what's wild? You don't need a high income to do this. You need a high level of intention. I've seen people making $40,000 build more wealth than people making $200,000 because they were being deliberate with every decision. The $40,000 person was saying no to things that didn't serve their goals. The $200,000 person was saying yes to everything and staying broke. The difference wasn't income. It was decision-making. So if you take nothing else from this video, take this. Become someone who makes deliberate financial decisions. Stop reacting. Start planning. Before you spend, before you invest, before you commit, get intentional. Ask yourself the hard questions. Do this for 30 days, just 30 days of deliberate decision-making with your money, and you'll see shifts in your behavior that compound for the rest of your life. That's the skill. That's what separates the people who build wealth from the people who stay stuck. Your income is just a tool. The skill that actually builds wealth is how you decide to use that tool. If you're still stuck, it's not because you're not earning enough. It's because you're not being deliberate enough. And the good news? That's something you can change starting today. Right now, make one deliberate financial decision. Just one. Something small. Something you would normally decide in the moment. Decide it right now instead. Decide before you need to decide. That's the beginning of everything. If you found value in this, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, what's one deliberate decision you're going to make this week? Let's build together. From broke to boss starts with one decision. Make it count.